Hello everyone, I'm Tam, and we're back with another Why I Think It Is. Video games or simulations. Um, Literally on the sense that you need a computer to run them and actually play the game. Yeah. Metaphorically, it's more of a way to help you grasp, you know, understand your own kind of situation or situations you may find yourself down the line in the physical sense. Most video games are have a kind of start, a kind of like a character development, a kind of middle, and a kind of end. Some games are kind of like one off, like I guess Pac-Man. You just kind of like eat stuff and so on. It's kind of simple. Um, in all games, there is a mechanic of reward and consequence, and punishment, which is pretty much how anything else in the world kind of works. Like so you do the proper thing, not necessarily the right thing. The right thing can change from time to time. Like well, perhaps the aesthetics of building a home changes. The homes back in medieval times were more built like castles. Now it's more like suburban environments. So the concept around like what is right and not right can definitely alter. However, the way to do things properly has in being able to make things work for everyone. Because certain people have different needs, so on is always applicable, regardless of who's right, who's not right, and who wears the kind of like cap of it being I guess the kind of like right the kind of um righteous person for that moment. It can definitely change anyway. So the point being, video games are like self-contained experiences that allow you to understand your own experience and also those you will probably have down the line. Well, when you play something like God of War, where Kratos is kind of a vengeful god. You see him go through all this kind of character development, like trying to get revenge for his father. I think is kind of storyline, and he also experienced some hardships as well. So on his path of vengeance being a certain way, he encounters appropriate measures of accountability. Pretty much what it is. Having to go stronger to meet a certain hardship, overcome a certain obstacle, like a boss fight or whatever. Using your currency, whatever it is, orb, using the orbs to power your weapons a certain way, and then being able to use that properly. Using it effectively to actually do something meaningful for like a boss fight, whatever. So it's pretty much what it is. Like no matter what video game you play, be it a RPG or action shooter, it's the same. Really, it's the same thing. Once you look under the hood, remove all the fancy like cosmetics, like the Unreal Engine 5 graphics, and so on. It's just simply a set of an experience with a certain amount of like um, a certain mechanic to reward you for doing things that the game sees proper, and reward you for not doing and punish you for doing something kind of incorrect and wrong. Um, no matter the storyline, you can just tie that back to reality in some way, because most video games are based on reality, like like some simple reality, like taken to the extreme. For example, Resident Evil 4, probably one of the best games ever made, is based upon the kind of plague, like a kind of virus I think the government or a corporation called Umbrella did to a local village, and now the entire place is kind of infected with a bunch of things, a bunch of like zombies. Similar thing can be said for, I guess, for what happened to Vietnam during the Vietnam War with America bombing the kind of pesticide and kind of chemical warfare, uh, Agent Orange, and different wars to that same capacity. And a similar thing can be drawn for companies for such as BP Oil spilling oil into the ocean and companies dumping like nuclear waste into the ocean and so on. So you can draw similar parallels and kind of like live in that kind of moment, live in a kind of a different parallel universe for what could have happened down the line. Perhaps like a fish became radioactive and so on. So video games has all that contained into a kind of like experience for you to kind of peruse from, to enjoy, to learn from, to cope to kind of like cope through hard times with and so on. Like the entire range of human spectrum, like emotion, anger, hate, etc. Pacifists, like whatever mindset you want is can be contained within a video game. And the core principle is really the mechanics, rewards, punishments. Applies to anything else in life. Careers to succeed in careers. There are things you have to do, which you may or may not like to do, which you may or may not like to do. Like sometimes having to like stamp manually stamp like letters for the company. Sometimes having to pick up after hours for somebody else to build your kind of reputation as being a pretty solid coworker and an invaluable asset for the company. Similar thing for video games, like sometimes you have to spend hours grinding, the same enemies over and over again until you make enough money to upgrade your gear and so on. So strategically, and yeah, so it's the same thing for like investment, sometimes you have to like start from from one property, one real estate property, and then tediously kind of like build up your kind of like capital to apply the same principle. So horizontal scaling to different properties, or doing vertical scaling. So going from like an apartment business to like a kind of hotel business. So kind of more hospitality. So it's the same thing. The more different types of video game you kind of play, the more you can draw parallels between reality and also the kind of virtual world that you're in. It's really the same kind of set of rules and kind of standards and expectations for success.